you done now?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Cluedo Podcast, where we break down the 1985 cult classic movie Clue 1 minute at a time. My name is the boat Brad Gilmore. Look, I wanted to do this podcast today to issue an apology because we were planning on having a new episode drop, breaking down the next minute of Clue, but I am in Philadelphia right now. Right now, I'm in a hotel room, not a suite. Not a penthouse like one might expect. I'm in a room. No, I'm just kidding. I'm in a hotel room by the Airport Marriott here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. First time I've ever been to this city and state. And, it's pretty good. An incredible night of WrestleMania 40 for those who are wrestling fans who might have followed me from there. We have similar interests. Cody Rhodes got to finish his story, but my obligations and duties with the WrestleMania 40 press events and festivities overtook my schedule's availability to record a podcast with Jeff. We had planned on doing it while I was out here. I brought my microphone and equipment to do it while we were out here, but we just did not have that kind of time. But we have never missed a Monday, so I didn't want to miss this one. So what I'm going to play for you all is just something nice and quick, but it's Jeff and I. It's Jeff and I, and we were doing a TV interview for my television show here in Houston, or my television segment was CW39, and Jeff came on to promote the documentary. So this is actually the full, never before released interview that I did with Jeff Smith for that documentary, Who Done It, the Clue documentary. And only people have seen it. There's only been like 60 seconds of it that aired on television. It's about 8 minutes, so consider this a make good until Jeff and I can get back together this week and record the next several minutes of Clue the movie. But until then, enjoy this. And thanks, guys, for your understanding, your patience, and your ears. Because without your ears, none of this would be possible. And he joins me right now, the director of the new documentary, Jeff Smith. Jeff, how are we doing?
I'm doing great. How are you, Brad?
I'm doing great, man. Thank you for taking the time. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the documentary. Who Done It, the Clue documentary. It talks about the cult classic that is the movie Clue. Talk to me. What about Clue made you want to make this documentary?
Well, aside from just being a huge fan of the movie, it's really not a movie that has been well documented as far as the making of. It's a movie that came out in 1985, and it did not do well at all. And it was one of those movies that was rediscovered by probably people my age on home video and on cable TV. And this was the time once, home video started, where kids just started watching the same movie over and over and over and over again. And I know, speaking for myself, Clue was in heavy rotation.
Are you shocked, though, that almost 40 years after its original release, this film still continues to captivate audiences the world around and create new fans?
I'm not as shocked as much as the people that made Clue are shocked. I know when I first reached out to the director, Jonathan Lynn, and said very brazenly, I'd like to make a documentary about your movie Clue, the first thing he said was, why? And then second, he said, sure. And that kind of was the way it went with the rest of the cast and crew too. These are actors and filmmakers that have amazing filmographies, and Clue for them was a movie that came out in 1985 and was gone in a couple of weeks, and they kind of forgot about it. So I think they're surprised more than anybody else that people are still talking about it.
Now, what can people expect when they watch Who Done It, the Clue documentary? What can people expect to learn, and what's the experience that you take them on?
Well, the cast really liked each other. So there's not going to be any kind of scandalous, somebody hated somebody and somebody, tried to destroy the other. That was all on camera. It was a very silly environment. Michael McKean has a story where he talks about before every take, they had to kind of reset themselves and remind themselves that something terrible has happened. Something terrible has happened, because this is a comedy. It's a very silly comedy, but it's also a murder mystery. And there's some pretty gruesome murders in this too, which I think is part of the appeal of Clue as well, because it came from a time where kids liked their comedies with a little bit of scariness in it as well.
Well, Jeff, we can't wait to watch Whodunit, the Clue documentary, available on Streambox and wherever you can actually rent videos. You can get it on Amazon Prime as well. So, Jeff, thank you so much for taking the time.
Hurry up, tape running out.